Do you remember your first interaction with Linkin Park's music?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Hybrid Theory. Absolutely. One Step Closer was like everything, you know? That scream in like, or not scream, but like, you know, shut up when I'm talking to you. That was like, oh my God. I found my, I wouldn't say motto, but what is it? Like like this is what, like my angst as a, you know, preteen or a teen. I was maybe 12. And I was like, this is it. This is fucking it. Like, and then of course I was so obsessed with that album, and I was starting a band at the time, and I was in a band, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to sing. I was like, he could sing and scream. Like, yeah, cool. You know, and I didn't realize later that it's like, yeah, a lot of people can't do that.
It's an art form.
Yeah, but I've learned like at that stage in my life, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So it was like I practiced and learned on my own by listening to people like Linkin Park, you know what I mean? And learned and was in a band, and, you know, obviously trying every kind of genre for many, many, many years. But that album was everything.
At what point do you, like, no, I have chills because it's like this really, this thing that like something that's had so much influence on you as a human being now becomes something that you have this honor. And I mean, like it is a weight, it's a responsibility, it's a bunch of things. And but like, just a testament to what you've created. Right. And
well,
I
also like, just to add on, like, Emily, well, we looked at it like, we know that there's that idea of like, you know, it's important, like the singer of this band is an important role that if we were to keep going, we'd have to like solve, you know, to try and make it not so heavy on ourselves. I would call it like a math problem, like, because that to me, it takes the emotion out of it a little bit. It makes it feel doable. And I'd be like, yeah, we don't have the math. Like years ago, the math didn't work out. We didn't have the things that we would need in order to keep going. So the idea was, you know, yeah, you got to figure out the equation. Like, what do we need? And it turns out, among other things, at least the stuff that's tangible, like the things that I can point my finger at and say that's important, is like obviously the talent. Emily's like talent as a vocalist, versatility, but there's also like the emotional aspect. Like when she sings, do you feel like it's just like pouring out of her soul? Like, because that is such a thing. It's such an important part of the band's sound, is having somebody who emotes that way, that it doesn't feel performative. And then most importantly, what most people don't even think about is, do we all get along really well, and do we like want to spend time together? Because we're going to be spending a bunch of time together in the studio and then getting on the road and so on and so forth. And when friends of mine ask now, they're like, you know, how's everything been going? Like, now you've been on the road together, you've done all these shows, and you're really getting into the thick of it. How is everything going? And these are friends that I can like say anything to. I could tell them if it sucked. And I was like, yeah, you know, one of the best things I notice is that, like, we'll be done with the rehearsal. Let's say it's like, I don't know, it's like 4:30. Rehearsal ended at like 4, and we're still just like hanging out. Like, we'll just sit around and hang out, and not even notice to me, it's like I don't even notice we're there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta go home. Like,
Yeah,
we've been just sitting around and talking.
It's always the one person that's like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Yeah, somebody.
And then it kind of breaks up the party a little bit.
Right. But I feel like that's like, if not for that, we would totally just like sit around and hang out forever.
Yeah.
Which is that's
special.
such a good sign, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was really nice.
Absolutely.